Kama tulivyowaahidi ya kwamba hapa katika chaneli yetu ya Shahidi TV tutakuwa tunawaleteni story murwa kabisa, na vile vile tu tutakuwa tunazungumza tu na baadhi tu ya viongozi ambao wako hapa nchini Kenya na wamefanya tu mambo mengi makubwa. Na leo tumetembea eneo la Bungoma, kaunti ya Bungoma, haswa eneo bunge la Kabuchai. Nimeambiwa ni sehemu inaitwa Nangili, na tumempata aliyekuwa mbunge wa Bumula, alihudumu kwa vipindi viwili, na vile vile wakati mmoja vile vile aliweza kuwania urais hapa nchini Kenya. Tunamzungumzia Bifwoli Wakoli. Lakini wengi tu yani kumfahamu Bifwoli Wakoli, kando tunakuwa mbunge, alikuwa in his comical way alikuwa anapitisha ujumbe tofauti, na wengi tu wanamkumbuka kwa yale maneno alikuwa anasema kwamba politicians ni kama mashetani. Yani acha tuzungumze naye tujue baada ya siasa yeye anafanya nini hasa, anajihusisha na nini. Karibu sana Bifwoli Wakoli.
Asanteni sana.
Hey, muda mrefu yani, juzi tumeona ya kwamba 2022 ulisimama kiti, haukufaulu.
Nilisimama katika chama cha Ford Kenya na ubaya kura za Ford Kenya hawakuwa na mipango kamili. Kwa hivyo nilipata nomination, lakini election board mimi ndio nilishinda, lakini election board ikaamua ikapeana tiketi kwa mtu mwingine, kwa sababu kuna pahali kura hazikufanywa na sikujua kwa nini ilifanya hivyo. Nikaamua tu as a protest nikaenda independent, lakini sikupata.
Hukufaulu. Ukakuja namba gani?
I did not even go to the tally.
Ulikuwa unajua, of course baada ya kusimama kiti independent unajua kwamba naenda kupata. How come you didn't go to ulikuwa namba gani?
It was a protest.
It was a protest.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you are doing a protest,
you're not in there to win.
No.
So
because I wanted us to market Fort Kenya by extension to solidify the Luhya. Luhya, instead of going into other, I wanted us, and I want to repeat, as a Luhya community, we need to work together. And the only thing that I can say is that Fort Kenya or ANC, Musalia and the Speaker, you can sit down, the Right Honorable Speaker can sit down and solidify the base. We as a community, we shall have work, regardless whom they will front. We shall have a very strong bargaining power, political bargaining power. And you know, political bargaining power is very essential in a democratic space. And that notwithstanding, that's what made me go for run on a Fort Kenya ticket. I would have lovely gone to another ticket, but I thought it's always good to associate with the family.
So that is why you just decided let me do this. Okay, ni sawa. Lakini sasa wajua sisi tumekujua sana katika ulingo wa siasa wakati umekuwa mbunge wa Bumula kwa vipindi viwili. Mtu angependa kujua huyu Bifwoli Wakoli ni nani haswa kando na siasa? Yeye ni baba, yeye ni mme, yeye ni nani haswa?
Hizi vikundi viwili nilihudumu katika wadhifa mbalimbali. Kwanza kama deputy whip wa chama
kwa
Fort Kenya, hata whip deputy to the late tour, deputy chief whip wa National Assembly, na kipindi cha pili nikapewa nafasi ya kuwa waziri mdogo katika wizara ya ardhi. Na baada ya hiyo mimi nikakuja nafanya shughuli zangu, nafanya biashara ndogo ndogo na ukulima. Na vile umesema ni kweli, niko na familia, niko na mama na watoto. Na sasa hivi pia niko na wajukuu.
So kabla ya kuingia katika siasa, safari yako ilikuwaje ndio ukajikuta umeingia katika siasa?
Kwanza nilipomaliza shule nilijiunga na chuo cha Kainos Teacher Training College. Nikajifunza kama mwalimu na nikafundisha. Alafu wakati nikahamishwa kutoka Napara Primary nikaletwa Arusha. Kufika huku ndio nikaamua nikanunua shamba hili, na sio muda watu wa huku wakaamua wakanichukua kama mwakilishi wao katika chama cha walimu NAT. Kwanza nilifanya kama mwakilishi wa walimu katika kata ndogo ya West Bukusu. West Bukusu inamaanisha the current Kandui constituency and Bumula capital constituency. That is, ilikuwa kanda ndogo ya katika chama cha walimu. Mimi ndio nilikuwa mwakilishi ya West Bukusu, East Bukusu, meaning Kandui, the current Kandui constituency and the capital constituency. Na baada ya miaka 5 nikang'ania kuwa vice chairman, mwenyekiti mdogo wa chama cha NAT. Baada ya kumaliza muhula wangu nikagombea kuwa mwenyekiti wa chama cha Bungoma, wakati Bungoma ilikuwa moja, Mount Elgon na nini, mpawa chairman wa walimu. Na kidogo nikaamua, vile Mheshimiwa Mnyasha alienda bunge, nilijaribu kung'ang'ania kuwa katibu wa chama, lakini nikaona ground imechukua rafiki yangu, imependelea Stephen Kisiang'ani, nikajiuzulu kwa wakati wa mwisho. Lakini baadaye walimu wakaona Kisiang'ani ni matarajio yao kwa walimu, wakaona hakuwa anawatetea walimu vile wanataka. Wakaniuliza na mimi nikang'ang'ana na yeye, bahati mzuri mimi nikapata. Hapo pia wakati nilikuwa NAT nikang'ang'ana pia, nikang'ania kiti cha Western Province kama mwakilishi wa Western, kuwa mwanachama wa NEC, na tulikuwa watatu. Mmoja ni marehemu Wilson Okova wa Kakamega, mwingine ni George Wesonga Otusia, na mimi nikawa nawakilisha. Tulikuwa watatu, hata Wesonga akapanda akawa mwenyekiti wa chama cha walimu Kenya mzima. Lakini wakati Wesonga alikuwa anapanda, mimi nilikuwa nimehama, nimeenda siasa ya wananchi.
Sasa you are a teacher by profession?
I'm a teacher by profession.
So unafanya kazi ya ualimu kwa muda gani?
Kwa muda mrefu, almost 20 years.
Ndio ukajitosa katika ulingo wa siasa. Mara ya kwanza ukiingia katika siasa uliwania kiti gani?
Niliwania kiti cha Bumula.
Oh, ubunge tu direct?
Direct.
Okay. Ukapewa? Ukawa mbunge kwa mara yako ya kwanza katika bunge. Ulivyoingia katika bunge, mambo yepi haswa ambayo uliona tofauti, na pia kitu gani kilichokusukuma kuingia katika siasa? Ni mambo yepi ulikuwa unataka kufanya kazi?
Kitu ya kwanza ambayo ilinifanya kuingia siasa ni kutetea wananchi. Jambo la pili, tulikuwa na marehemu wa Marwa Kichana, alikuwa anang'ang'ania urais, na nikaona kama mmoja wetu anatafuta kuwa rais, lazima awe na foot soldiers, awe na wabunge ambayo wanamshikilia. Na wakati ule mimi nilikuwa katibu wa chama cha walimu, na nilikuwa nafanya siasa za walimu. Na wananchi wakaona vile nilikuwa natetea walimu, wakaona mimi nikienda kusimama na marehemu Marwa Kichana ambaye alikufa akiwa vice president, wakasema wewe utakuwa ukiwa naye utakuwa mtetezi mzuri na tena utakuwa unatutetea. Na kusema kweli nilitetea Bungoma kwa jumla. Nilikuwa natetea wananchi wakiwa na shida, kwa natetea. Kwa mfano natetea serikali ilete maendeleo upande wa mkoa wa Magharibi.
So mara yako ya kwanza ulichaguliwa 2002? Hiyo 2002 kiingia bunge, mawili matatu ambayo ulikuwa unaona yako na utofauti haswa ni yapi?
Nilianzisha miradi kwa Bumula. Bumula haikuwa na stima na rural electrification. Nikajaribu juu na chini, nikaweka kila kata stima, na tena nikashindua kila location, kila kata kaweka kata kwa kila kata nikaweka chuo cha NILISEMA Youth Polytechnic. Na mara ya pili nikaona hawa vijana wakisoma ufundi, nikaona nilikuwa na 10 youth polytechnics na ilikuwa ina produce vijana wengi sana, na vijana walikuwa na talent nzuri na walikuwa wanafanya tu craftsman courses. Ndio nikaanzisha SASA TTI, ili ukimaliza youth polytechnic nika encourage vijana waende SASA technical training institute wasome, wachukue diploma na kadhalika. Na tena had partnered with a university from India, so that it becomes a constituency, technical constituency university. Lakini bahati mbaya nikapoteza kabla hatujamaliza.
Bado katika hizo mipangilio ndio ukapoteza. So ukahudumu pale kipindi cha kwanza na cha pili. Baadaye ukakuja ukapoteza. Sasa hizi tena umejaribu 2022 ikawa ni ngumu kabisa.
Haikuwa ngumu. 2022 haikuwa ngumu, nilipoteza kwa sababu mipangilio ya Fort Kenya haikuwa vizuri. Ningekuwa na proper nomination, I think I would assess whether nilipoteza. But because of the election body of Fort Kenya, maybe they did not have the capacity. They should have used at least either the electoral college, but they decided to use the general suffrage, but they didn't have the capacity to manage the common mwananchi to one vote. In the process, they were unable to identify the right person, despite I was a front runner. The results showed that I got more votes than everybody. But some areas there were skirmishes. Elections were not conducted. So first round election was cancelled. Second round, same thing happened. So we went in a boardroom and a consensus. The three of us agreed that Mheshimiwa Shula, who took over from me, and Mheshimiwa Sasita, they preferred me to run on Fort Kenya after they had seen. And the party, in its own wisdom, we don't know based on what, they decided to pick Ruketelo casting. And then he went and lost miserably. Because now when they could not listen to us, me, Shula and Sasita protested and said, no, we want a proper, the person that people we are comfortable to market and win. But now the party head office did not listen to our advice. They decided to give the ticket, but me and Shula, we decided to say no. We protested and went as independent candidates. Not to win, but in protest. And we assured Fort Kenya you will lose, because even Mheshimiwa Shula decided to leave Jubilee and join Fort Kenya. and understanding that we as the community, we must go together. As the people of Ochula is at Mtura, Luya but Mtura by sub-tribe. Me and Makusu, yes. But we felt like we Luyas must go in one twende mrengo moja, tukienda hata kama tunaenda to have a bigger bargaining power. And if the Fort Kenya Brigade listen to us, we will have enough numbers in National Assembly so that tukiamua tukisema tunataka serikali tufanyie mradi fulani, wabunge tunaongea na sauti moja. Na mkisimama mseme hii barabara ya kutoka Bungoma kwenda Kakamega imekuwa hapo kwa mwaka na miaka, iwekwe lami. Mimi niliona tukiongea na sauti moja, hiyo barabara tena tukiwa kwa bunge, tukiangalia budget tunaweza weka na iwekwe barabara. Na ingine tukiona labda tunataka kuweka lami kutoka Kimaiti ama kutoka Mateka, Kimaiti, Lwakaka mpaka Lwakaka Uganda, iweke lami na tuongee na sauti moja, tungepata. Tukienda ukitoka hii nje ya Skalakala, wamejaribu kuweka lami lakini ichawekwa. Na unajua tukiongea kama tuko mrengo mmoja na tunauliza serikali na sauti moja, serikali itatusikiliza. Lakini sasa nyinyi mko Azimio, wengine wako Fort Kenya, kama saizi kuna Waluya wako Azimio wabunge, wengine wako Fort Kenya, wengine wako si wapi. Sasa mtaongea, mkienda kwa serikali, watu wa Azimio wanaongea lugha yao, watu wa Kenya Kwanza wanaongea lugha yao. Hamwezi ongea na sauti moja. Na mkienda mnakuwa na one spokesman. Mkiwa na one spokesman, kama wakati tulikuwa kama Bungoma tulikuwa the whole of us were in Fort Kenya. That is how we managed during the fucking regime. We managed to bargain and get Kibabi a diplomat just college. And that's how we managed to lobby for Kibabi to be a university, because of we were together. And when you are together, we could bargain the revival of Nya Sugar Company. When you are talking one language as Luya, you can revive Nzoia Sugar Company. When you are talking as one. But if you are in Azimio, ukiongea saizi, wataona kama siasa ya upinzani. Sasa wao mkiongea peke yenu na hamna numbers ya kutosha, unaona. Tena mkitaka kuanzisha mradi kama labda mnataka factory hapa Malakishi ya cotton industry, sasa utaongea na mbunge wa Bumula sahi ako DAP, mbunge wa Sirisha ako mrengo ingine. Unaona, wakiomba mradi hawaongei lugha moja. Huyu anachapa serikali, huyu anapongeza serikali. Sasa hata rais anaanza kuangalia sasa hao watu wako wapi.
Lakini wanasema kwamba kuna demokrasia, so si lazima mkwe kwa chama kimoja. Demokrasia,
lakini you know, democracy it has its own benefits and disadvantages. Democracy is freedom, yeah, I agree. But for the bargaining power, you must be together. This one, let me tell you, if, for example, we are going to form the government, come 2027, if you run as the president of this country, how many votes are you bringing on board against if Amaluya and you are another tribe? See, you will look at the number of votes I will bring on the table. Even if we form the government, you will look at the number of MPs are brought on the table. Why are we talking now? Tukifika Western tunaongea maneno ya demokrasia. Tukiingia Nyanza demokrasia inaenda wapi? Mbona wanaenda mrengo mmoja wa Azimio? Tukienda Central, mbona wanaenda pamoja? Kwani unasema watu ya Nyanza wako na demokrasia? Ni demokrasia, lakini lazima waende mrengo moja.
Mrengo moja ndio wakuwe na ile bargaining power.
Ndio wakuwe na, you know, that is positive democracy. But if you want to be disintegrated democracy, then it is okay.
Now let me ask you, I mean, for a very long time we've had this issue in Luya, with the elusive Luya unity per se, and we've been talking about it. Do you think it is something that will be realized?
The elusive, as I have told you, maybe in the election board, Fort Kenya is a national party. ANC is a national party. I am a very high suspicion that the election board is comprised of Luyas and non-Luyas. Our brothers and sisters in the election board, Fort Kenya and the NEC, are not interested to see popular candidates. They might be there, but with their own hidden agenda. That's why people might want you and they decide to give it to somebody else. And then people protest. And they will have achieved their aim.
Like Kama Western, I think we only now have this one party that we can say that Fort Kenya. Because now ANC, David is no longer the party leader.
No, well, fine.
It's the party leader is Timami.
Fine, but the ANC and Fort Kenya, it is only the only two parties that have the elected members, you know, in National Assembly from in this country.
You've been a leader, you've been an MP in this area, and you know this. What needs to be done to ensure that probably they come together and maybe speak one voice, as you're saying? Other areas, people are speaking one voice, but lawyers hapa kuna disintegration.
There is I wouldn't want to blame lawyers over disintegration. What needs to be done is that if those one contesting, we confront one candidate, and then you have one party, whether that person is a running mate or not. If, for example, lawyers want to go to Azimio, we should have one candidate as a running mate. May it be Musalia or Tangula or Paranya as a running mate. And then the second point is that the party that is going to be done, the nomination must be free and fair, without any interference, so that people who have decided to support Azimio or Kenya Kwanza, the electorate is with the people. Supposing you are so unpopular, are you going just to be elected just because you want to market you as a loyal leader, and the common mwananchi know that you have no value, you are not coming to hutawatetea? Does it make sense? So the most important is that we have to identify one person to run, and then leave the electorate to do nomination. Pick on the popular candidates.
Do you think that is possible? Because again, okay, I don't know.
Once they pick
I don't
on
think
the...
that is possible, because like since time immemorial, like in other areas, like say Luo Nyanza, wamekuwa tu na mtu wao, they have been supporting through. But here in Western region, we have those who are actually aligned to Azimio. Like for example, let's say Oparanya is the deputy party leader of ODM, and he says that that is one of the biggest party in Kenya. And now, of course, now we have the likes of Kina Sifuna, who is the SG in that party and all that. And on this other side, we have Wetangula and Mudavadi. Do you think these two mirengos or coalitions will come together and say, now, you know what, now we want to speak as a voice, one voice as lawyers, and this is what we are going to do?
It doesn't matter which position you hold in the party. What matters is that what position are you running for this country? Like in Asmio, my brother Opranya, my friend, he is the deputy party leader, but was he the running mate? So what was our share in the party?
He wasn't. But what if this time round in 2027 they say we are fronting Oparanya in ODM or Azimio or as either president or deputy? And on this other side, they are saying now you guys you still hang in there because from what I've heard, is that Kenya Kwanza, Furuto is going 10 years and then now they'll be backing someone from Western Kenya.
Fine. Can I give you the history?
Thank you.
2002, yes, when we formed NAC, and Michael Kichano Omaro, the elect, was fronted as the vice president of this country. The whole of Western Province voted for NAC. That shows that Luyas can be united if they know that in this government there is their share. I never blame Luyas. The problem is that as Mio, we didn't have a running mate. So there was no serious stake for us.
But the other way, even this other side, we didn't have anyone. We didn't have a presidential candidate, we didn't have a running mate.
Precisely. If any party, you can only blame Luyas if this side had a presidential candidate or a running mate, and we went the other side, then you would say we are not united. Is there any time the Luyas have had a presidential candidate and we have run the other side?
Mudavadi has been there most
Mudavadi ran, but he was not serious. he did not allow free nomination on the ground. And I'm telling you, Musalia Mudavadi would have given a very serious impression if he allowed his board to do free and fair nomination on the ground. From Vihiga to Bungoma, he would have gotten the number. Just like 202, Michael Kichano Omaro, that is the time. I was a primary teacher. And people wanted me. He gave me the nomination ticket. Because people wanted me. Had he denied me, I would have gone elsewhere and he would have lost. So why can't we read the ground, the history, and the mind of the people? So the people want you by all. And then the party hooks want somebody else. And then in that process of protest, then the world you want to assess us as if we are divided. No. I think the people who conducted nomination, for me, I don't want to blame anybody, but it is the election board that has been messing in Luyas. And it is possible that we are having outsiders messing us inside. And if we can correct that, then it will be, you will see that we are a united house. Is there any time I can come to Mumias and I'm heckled, or I go to Vihiga and I'm chased away? When if you come from Bungoma, you can buy land here and settle. Luyas are not divided. I can go and buy land in Mumias and stay. I have a plot in Kakamega. There's no problem. I work on food. To tell me that we are divided, it doesn't make sense. How many of our sisters are married in Vihiga, in Kakamega, Mumias, and how many the daughters from those houses are married here? Now we divided, surely. So
actually we are not divided, that is what you're saying. But something needs to be done.
The only problem is that we don't have serious planning. So that we work with the electorate. And by the way, madam, even your own brothers, if you cannot sit with your family and go to election with the family, you will be shocked that your family can vote the other direction, and the mistake is not theirs. But you have not set them together, and two, when it is time like this, you don't wait until election time when you come running around saying you want the election. Fort Kenya and the NEC right now, are they recruiting members? Are they going around the villages, educating them the value of
Voting?
voting? Are they?
No.
Now, why? Whom are you blaming? It is the party machinery that is
Sleeping on the job.
The people, and you know, like Fort Kenya, when it started, we used to have rallies, and when you want have a political rally and you want to have it in Hachonga market or Kinanga market or anywhere or a Kuisero, you simply go for a permit and organize a rally.
As a party.
As a party.
But actually what I have seen, the only party that I've seen moving around in recruiting members, who've had mass recruitment of members, is UDA.
So fine. Now, but UDA is doing, and now UDA, is it going to give us a running mate?
No.
So we shall go there as a subsidiary group. Yet we are the second largest community, but we shall go there as
probably the largest.
No, I don't know. I look at the old census. We shall go there as a subsidiary group. You have the numbers, but you don't know how to use your number. The reason? You don't recruit people to belong to one party. Let's say you can have a big religion, and like the Roman Catholic Church, is the Anglican Church, the Quaker. These are old religions. But if they don't go around recruiting converts, will people in the village start confessing that I'm a Catholic? Without the priest and the catechist going down the people. So the same way, you can be the old party, but are you recruiting new members? There is a new generation with the new techniques. And I'm happy you have said UDA is serious. UDA can easily take the electorate with it. And then our leaders are here and the electorate are the other side. Whom are they blaming? Whom would you blame? Okay,
talking of parties and electorates and all that, right now we have a government already. The 2022 elections, of course, we have president and some lawyers are in the government. What is your take on the Kenya Kwanza government as at now?
Yeah, it is too early for me to assess. You know, when people form the government today, and then you start assessing them in 1 year, you must be having some vendetta or something like that against them. But give someone time. 5 years is good time. This is a newly formed government. For me, I would rather give them time to see how they are going to perform. I think let us be objective in our assessment. But if I start commenting negatively against them, that is wrong. If I start commenting positively about them, that is again wrong, because the history will judge me wrong with the time. But why will I speculate right now? Let us give them time.
Actually, people are saying, I don't know what is your take on the same as well, but people are saying that this is the most expensive government that we've ever had, especially with the high cost of living, and of course, just the controversial bill that was passed the other day.
On the cost of living, it is an international issue. And on the party, on the finance bill, I can't say anything about it because it is in court, and I've been in parliament. I don't want to be cited on conduct of court. You remember Mtata went to court.
Yeah, the judgment will be coming out on 5th.
Yeah. So any matter that is live in court, and you have a legal mind, you don't have to comment on it. What a negative view.
So according to you, with the government that is the Kenya Kwanza government, what you will say is that let's give it time. We get to see how things will be unfolding.
For me, personally, I will give them time.
The other day, of course, after the president assented the bill, we had the opposition, that is the Azimio. They had a meeting in Kamukunji, and they said I think this is the time. The only thing that, or rather the language that the Kenya Kwanza government can understand is mandamano, and they are calling for mandamano again. What is your take on that?
I was not there in the campaign.
I know you're not there, but what is your feeling? What is your take on the whole thing when the opposition is now calling on protest over the high cost of living and, of course, the controversial bill? I know you don't want to comment it. Of course, they will say it will be prejudicial content, of course, and all that. But you, as a person, of course, they have called for mandamano, the return of mandamano or protest, people going on the street.
They have the right under the constitution, as long as they they don't interfere with my right, who is not demonstrating. But are they going to be peaceful demonstrations? If the answer is yes, fine. If the answer is no, then I don't support it.
I have a feeling that you are taking a neutral point. I have a feeling that you just want to play safe. I don't understand why. Will you go and put a sufuria kwa kichwa?
My culture doesn't allow.
What do you mean your culture doesn't allow?
Even as a man, after being circumcised, I'm not allowed to put a water pot on the head and bring home. My age mates should penalize me. What about the sufuria that my wife cooks on? How do I put on the head?
What do you mean?
Yeah, you are a lawyer. Have you ever seen men putting his furias in the head? No, let us do things. Let us not run away from our culture.
So what will happen if that's all you do?
There is better things to do to criticize the government than doing things that we are spoiling the society. How do you put his furias in the head? That one I wouldn't. As much as I might want to wish them well, but let them do things that should not destroy our foundation. A society without a culture, a society without
so the Bukusu or Luya culture doesn't allow a man to put sufuria on the head?
I thought so. Have you ever seen, since you were born, have you ever seen a man walking with a sufuria on the head?
Not just a man, a circumcised man.
A cooking pot on the head.
A cooking pot is different. Sufuria is another thing. It's different as well.
What do you do with sufuria?
You cook. But now they're saying, actually, when they put sufuria there, then they will
then food will come.
It is figurative. I mean, is it figurative? It's like they're just trying to show that, yes, this is what we want to do. And
well,
they're trying to pass a message.
I wish them well.
So you're saying you're destroying the foundations and cultures and beliefs of Luya
the fabric of the African culture is very important. There is no way we are going to. I'm going to fight you without using my culture. You know, politics is not all. As I once said, even let me be very candid to you. Who are the leadership of the Sufuria working, organizing people to carry Sufuria on the head?
Azimio.
Azimio. Very soon, we will be shocked before 5 years. The top management of Azimio might be dining with the top management of Kenya Kwanza. Give a scenario where there was the fight between my brother, my friend, Uhuru Kenyatta, and my brother-in-law, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. They fought viciously. How did they end? They ended up dining together. Politics, if you don't know it, you don't enter it. So that's why I said politicians.
So according to you, you're saying there's a probability that we might have a handshake between Raila Odinga and William Ruto.
Looking at the history of this country, it's not that probably, but it is more than 70%. Today, if there's some good thing or some bad thing happens to to Raila, who will be the biggest supporter?
The government.
Yeah. And if an ordinary village man in this village dies and is a supporter of Kenya Kwanza, will they come for the funeral?
You might attend because you're a neighbor.
Yeah, but will the top brigade of Azimio come for the funeral of
Not really.
the village man?
No.
But if one of those ones organizing loses a brother or a son or what, will the top brother of Kenya Kwanza attend the party?
They will, of course.
Why do we want to use our people like toilet papers?
But that is politics.
That's why I say politics is dirty. The politicians are like devils. Don't follow what they do. Do what you think is right.
So does that mean basically what you said, because people really remember Bifwoli Wakoli? I don't know, you've heard a lot of things that you did. You had a lot of bills that you proposed in parliament and all that, but people believe you with what you said, and people used to say that you are sort of one of the truthful man. Right now Gachagua is Gachagua is saying that he's the only truthful man. But actually, people say that before Wakoli used to say how it is and the way things were. And at some point, you said, "Wanasiasa ni kama mashetani."
Because at the end of the day, they don't fight. They use people to fight. Two, I did philosophy. And I'm doing PhD, Doctor of Philosophy in religion. And religion encompasses African religion. I have a Quran in my car. I don't see anything wrong with my brothers in the Muslim community. I don't blame you for being a Muslim. I'm a Catholic by faith. But by my academic background, I have nothing against the Musamba people. Because they worship one thing, the supreme human being. And religion is the culture, the way of living of the people. From the academic angle, I don't see anything wrong. And so I have looked at it and I've been reading. You go to my library. I read a lot. And I will always tell you things the way it is. Because I will not be swayed just to be a sycophant. No. I might support you, but supporting you does not mean I lose my brains. I stop reasoning just because I'm supporting you. No. I can support Raila, but I don't lose my brains. So that Raila can tell me run 10 kilometers at night instead I should be sleeping. And then I wake up to run at night just because my party leader said no. Or I support His Excellency the President Ruto, and he tells me from today onward, you go slaughter all the chicken in the village. And I come and slaughter my chicken without knowing what I will do with them. No way. I will ask him how. Why? So as much as you are supporting the government or opposing the government, oppose it with your brains. You don't oppose it just because you are being told to do things. That is it. And maybe that's why people don't understand me. And the truth is, you don't need to understand me. I need to say the truth.
So are you saying the fact that you said that wanasiasa ni kama mashetani, then that means one, they camouflage, or two, probably they are not truthful with what they say?
What I know is that they don't fight.
Okay.
It is a game. Have you watched the football? Those people in the field, what do they chase? Is
That
the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Politicians, what do they look for? Votes.
That's it.
And how do you look for votes? Is to paint the other man black. And you come out angelic. Yeah. It says it. I have to say nasty things about you so that I get votes. But what I say is it all 100%?
Not sure. Wow. So basically tunakuona uwanjani hivi karibuni?
Now you have repeatedly asked that question.
I really want to know tunarudi kwa uwanja hivi karibuni. Okay,
how many times have you asked me that question?
I just want to be sure that yes or no. Yeah, because you've actually been trying to.
I'm not abetted. My answer is the same. And let me repeat it. Let it be on record. It is too early, my sister.
But people plan early. The earlier the better.
Yeah, and you don't release your plan early now.
You don't want to remove your cards in your mesa. Oh, okay. So.
Either others yes or no. But you don't release your plan. You become irrelevant.
That time you of course you unajua wewe you are unpredictable. Tunaweza sema ati tunangoja ukuje usimame kiti cha UMP na pengine president ushapanga mikakati. Because the other time ulisimama president, I don't know if you're coming back again.
So leave with the let me
let's go the
wait until
that time comes.
When I'm near the bridge.
Really?
Yeah, I will call you to tell you what I want.
Ulisimama kiti cha president basi unarudi hapo. Now that ubunge utaki kuniambia tungoje before that time comes. Are you still dreaming to be the president of Are you still dreaming?
Look at you.
This is a very beautiful country, magnificent, magical country, Kenya. Are you dreaming to be president one of these 5 days?
Fine. I've told you, whether president, whether governor, whether senator, whether MP, whether MCA, it is not yet time to say.
Really?
Yeah, let us cross the bridge.
Among your kids, kuna mwenye amesema anataka kufuata baba. Is a politician maybe.
I think almost all my children are politicians.
Oh. Do you have anyone who has contested for a seat?
Yes. My daughter is the chair of the LSK, MASHETANI. Is that not contested?
It is.
Yeah. She is the chair of lawyers in Bumula.
Okay.
That translates into election. And, that means she's a politician, maybe in her field. Yeah.
Okay. But now in politics, like representing people in parliament or something, you don't have any?
Maybe they gave me room to retire first.
To retire first before they
sure.
they try it out. They try the murky waters. Wow.
I have not seen them talk about it. I wouldn't want to speculate. But all of them are active politicians because they campaign for me. Until some people say, why? Okay, they normally, anytime I go to contest, they take leave. And some even take loans and walk around the constituency using their own money. So I don't know how much they use. Because I don't like saying, oh, bring that money to me, no.
Let them spend the way they can.
Yeah, let them spend the money the way they want. And I don't like saying, hey, now I'm going to run, let us sit. How much do you want to contribute? Because if you go to politics, unajipanga. You don't budget on people's pockets. Because at the end of the day, when you earn salary, you earn it yourself.
Much I want to know, like, you've been an MP for 2 times. At some point, you also contested as a president, of course. I don't know what you wanted to do for the whole country. But, yeah, the other day, 2022, you contested the 4th time or 5th time as an MP in Bumula. Ulitaka wakupatie kiti tena. What haven't you done that you really wanted to do right now?
Yeah, Madam, I've experienced that in Pit, where I went to run on Fort Kenya. Because one, that Fort Kenya was actually making a coalition with the UDA and the other parties.
No, you as a person, as an MP.
As a person. No,
why did you want this seat again?
Bumula, sincerely speaking, Bumula is not fully developed. So far, the projects that I have done, most of them have stalled. One, I started a TTI that I wanted to transform it into a university. Musakasa TTI. That dream is not accomplished. I started a water project across the constituency. That dream is not accomplished. I started a medical training college in Kapula. It has not taken off. I started a factory, avocado factory. It is not yet even started. And the tarmac, I had only tarmac one road. I only requested the president to tarmac one road from Skoma to Busia. But these other roads are still untarmacked. So in essence, Bumula is not developed like any other developed countries. When you visit, for example, you go to developed countries, you will find that a home like this has electricity, has water, has a tarmac road. And there is a factory, there is a market, there is a hospital, there is all this. You know, if all these things are not available, then you still want to serve, then you will say, okay, can I do? That is one. The second one is that I could only accomplish that if we went as a community. That's why I decided to go back to Fort Kenya. And I talked to the speaker, the Right Honorable Moses Maskawa Tangula, that you are now the leader of the party. Can you allow Fort Kenya to have free and fair nomination across the county and the western region? Wetangula as a person, we wanted to sandwich him so that when he is walking, he is having people protecting him. You know, as a leader, you can, people will always attack you. You need people to protect you, people to stand by you. And all that. That's why, that is the second reason that made me go to politics, to go and contest, to protect one of our leaders. Then there came Musalia with the NEC. I had already decided to join Fort Kenya. I kept on persuading them to join hands, since they were not both running. Musalia was not running for president, and Wetangula was not running for presidency. They were all in Kenya Kwanza, and they had been promised a 30%. But after being promised a 30%, they should have identified one party. And if they had identified one party, ANC and Fort Kenya had identified one party and did free and fair nomination across the entire western region. Definitely the whole of Busia, the whole of Bungoma, the whole of Viga, the whole of Kakamega, we might have lost 1 or 2 seats, which is a democracy. But the maturity will be on that Marengo. And that one, even if we sat down and said, okay, we are fronting Musalia or fronting Wetangula, that is one. We should be fronting one. That is the agenda number one in politics. You front one of you to go one day to run for leadership of this country. The second objective of any politician is to make sure that when the national government is giving out the national cake, you have also, it is like a cow that has been slaughtered. You also have a share of the meat to come and give. You will talk about how many factories you want to do so that these factories can create jobs. You also need some road network to be done. You also lobby for allocation of resources to come. So you lobby for so many projects to come to your place so that as Kenya is developing, you are also developing.
Yeah, we're hoping that probably that will come to pass. One of these fine days, we don't know.
Well, but what I hope that what I'm saying, if our leaders can listen and take this conversation we are having and implement it, whether we should be alive or dead, honestly, this thing is very important. Let us not be egocentric. Let us not think about ourselves. Let us think about the people If it is a question of me leaving or you leaving, your salary is enough to keep you going. But what about the generation to come? Your family, your brothers, your sisters, the community, the economy of the community. Forget about the economy of the country. You have talked about the cost of living is very expensive. Yeah, it can be very expensive, but you can be leading a very cheap life. As people, you might only be having problems with the fuel, but you will not have problems.
But you know,
Hunger can come, and if you have prepared yourself,
if
you will
fuel
have
is
enough
very
food.
high, if fuel is very high, then everything, of course, the basic commodities are going to be high. But no, Muhesh,
fuel is very high. Does it affect my maize in the my vegetables? When I go to plug my vegetables,
to some extent, yes, because one, you have the inputs there. You need to go source them. It's not like you have.
Like I'm going to milk my cow, and they have increased fuel today. The milk from my cow. Am I going to buy it very expensive? And if we have excess milk around, won't that bring the cost of living down? If we have
let me tell you, where will you go sell the milk?
Fine.
You need to go to the market.
Yeah.
How will you go to the market?
That is the time now. The price will come down.
The price will come down. If fuel is very high, like right now, you have milk here, you have produced milk. You're supposed to take this milk to the market. Won't you use fuel to go take the milk to the market?
You will have minimum profit. You will make very little. But when there is no milk, you will exorbitantly charge so that you make enough.
Charge a common mwananchi.
Yes.
Exorbitantly charge who doesn't have.
Yeah. But if you know, commodities depend on demand and supply. If you have done economics,
I've not done it. Let's not go there. But one thing is that I just know that cost of living is very high. But again, now the other thing that just the other day, of course, we had that SRC have talked of increasing 14% salaries to the civil servants. Of course, the cabinet secretary, the MPs, and deputy president, and all that, they're going to get the 14% pay raise, at least to cushion them against the high cost of living. What is your take on that?
If I got it right, is that the president of this country last night said that the presidency and executive and members of parliament have to wait. That was the recommendation of
the SRC.
But he said no. Waje tupeana walimu na military na police, because the law cut civil service. Lakini sisi tungoje. How do I commend something that has been stopped?
What if it does?
And he said,
because saying tungoje, it doesn't mean stop.
And he said, no. And he said that SRC must also come up with reasons why. I listened to him yesterday, and also he said that as you are increasing the salary, it should also look at the development, the amount that current expenditure.
Yeah, exactly.
How much are we allocating towards the development, and how much are we allocating the recurrent expenditure? I thought that was a very nice move.
What if it does? Okay, now let's not even talk about what the president has said. Let's talk about this issue of the SRC recommendation.
That question is better answered by the
as a leader, as a mwananchi, you will have your own reservations.
As a trade unionist, maybe the workers were agitating for the pay rise.
Are you for or against? That is what I'm asking. Stop abating my question. Are you for or against?
Sincerely speaking, you are not prepared me to answer that question.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So it is a pass for you?
I'm incompetent to answer.
You're incompetent. Like me as a Mwananchi, if I have to speak as Mwananchi, of course I'll have my own reservations. Because again, if it is high cost of living, it is affecting everybody.
No,
So if you guys are getting 14% to cushion,
me, I'm not employed.
no, I'm saying, okay, sorry, leaders. If leaders are getting 14% to cushion themselves against high cost of living, what will Mama Mboga do? What will this Bora Bora guy do?
Well, kindly, I had requested that you didn't prepare me
To answer that. Okay, it's no problem. I think it was just actually a question that popped on my mind. I had not even prepared, but I was like, when we were talking about high cost of living, I was like, yeah, but there is this recommendation that, you know, like they get this 14% pay raise.
I need to do some research.
Do research again. No problem. So one is that I know as a leader and everything that is happening in the country, of course, we actually don't know what will happen next. Because now, tomorrow we might be told, hey, what wanaenda kwa barabara. Tomorrow we might be told, oh, this is happening and all that. As Mwananchi, as a leader, I know you might want to pass a message to the opposition and also to the government. What will you tell the government as it is right now, as where we are in terms of the state of politics in the country? Maybe kama unaweza angalia pale kwa kamera, talk to wananchi, talk to those Kenyans, and also talk to the Kenya Kwanza government.
Let me start by talking to the opposition. The opposition are doing a very noble job, and they are members of the National Assembly. Let them articulate their issues in the National Assembly and convince and do the lobbying. And to the Kenya Kwanza, my prayer is, let them, there is what we call public participation. Before they do anything, let them go out and get the opinion of the people. And let them not do public participation for the purpose of PR, but for the purpose of getting the feelings of the people. Now, that is my take.
Okay. Mwisho kabisa mimi nataka as we wind up, between Musalia Mudavadi and Wetangula, who will you say like huyu tukimpatia anaweza tufikisha hapo juu State House?
They are equal, but they have to sit down. And in presidency, I once ran, and people thought I'm not competent. But the truth is, there is nothing like it is academic that who would pass the exam. The truth is, the presidency is a symbol of power. And there must be people who work under you. Any of the two. So my only prayer is that Musalia is my friend, Wetangula is my friend. The only thing I can persuade my two brothers is one of them to sacrifice his ambition for the other. And then we front one. Let us not bring in this tribal clan politics. And are you aware that Musalia is a competent economist and Wetangula is an accomplished lawyer? And in that way, any of the two can manage to run this country very well. So what is, we have the brains, the lawyer community has the top brains in this country, the professors, the doctors, the engineers. And so why are we not having the top politicians to manage this country? So what is important, and I can tell you for free, if Musalia and Wetangula and Oparanya sat down, and Eugene Wamalu and myself and the rest, and fronted one, definitely we shall go, whichever side of the political device we shall go. We shall be given the seat that we want. And that's all I can say.
Exactly. And actually from what I heard, and the reason as why I've been asking you persistently about this question, is that I've heard that Bifwoli Wakoli is mentoring someone because he has thrown him the towel, especially when it comes to matters politics and the Bumula seat. And what he is doing is mentoring some young turks to take up or to take up the mantle.
Who told you that?
That is why I've been asking you all this while, but he's like, you don't want to tell me. You're just kind of dodging my question. But is it true that you're mentoring someone that you've thrown in at all? That you say like
No,
politics?
I think if you ask me at what time did I decide to run, it was not in my mind. There is this propaganda that I'm mentoring one of my kids. Is this propaganda that I'm mentoring someone? Is it for presidency? Is it for governor seat? Is it for parliamentary seat?
That is why you've come to you. You tell us. You get
No,
from the
there are
horse's
people
mouth.
who are saying I'm mentoring. I must be mentoring somebody for a particular position.
Which position are you mentoring someone?
And who is this? Now you have come to this home and found me alone.
Yeah, actually, that is the reason I stay. Like we said, let's go and see Mheshimiwa. Oh, Mheshimiwa, now you've thrown in a towel. You said like politics here. Yangu sasa mimi
No, I have
mentoring
not
someone.
said that. I have not said that. And
So there is no one you're mentoring.
I have not said that, but please don't put words in my mouth.
Sorry, but so any last word maybe to
my last word is that it's good, and I want to ask this country is our country, and we who have been leaders, and once you're a leader, you die a leader. It's like we have this phrase in the Catholic that according to the order of Melchizedek, once you become a priest, you are a priest forever.
But you didn't become a priest.
No, I'm saying I'm using that quotation. That we have that saying in the Catholic liturgy, that once you are made a priest, you are a priest forever, according to the order of Melchizedek. And that means, in the same vein, once you are a leader forever until God calls you. You don't have to be a leader just because you are holding an elected position. You still remain a leader. And if the need comes to advise or to assist, you come forward and so my last word is that when the opening time comes, and when I get the right forum, I will definitely advise. And the right forum is maybe if I will attend a funeral with Asumio, I will tell them what is on my mind. And if I attend a funeral or a rally with the Kenya Kwanza Brigade, I will definitely tell them my mind. And I've been saying it. But now, if I say it here, it would be like I'm talking behind their back.
Oh, nice. So, but you said you lost because of the issues that were that happened in the by-elections. Were you able to meet with Tangula?
It was not a by-election.
I mean, sorry, in the
No, we have met.
You've met with Tangula. You've talked to him about what happened.
It's even my nephew.
What did he tell you about whatever happened?
He says he was not.
He was not in the picture.
He was not involved. And Tangula's father is my cousin. Yeah. Musali is my good friend. Raila, his brother, married my cousin. The late Petris. He was my very close cousin. Ruto is related to my mother. My grandmother is a Kalenjin.
So ukipewa nafasi serikalini unaenda?
Do you have one?
Sorry, Bash. Okay.
Are you coming to give me one?
No, I was just asking because like all these people are your friends, your nephews, your who and who. Why haven't they given you an opportunity in the government?
No.
Ambassador or anyone?
It is up to them. Maybe it's not the right time yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's
up to them. And that does not mean I say anything against my brother-in-law, Raila. Raila, my cousin.
But you can advise.
Yeah, of course, advising is different from saying bad things about him. And I cannot say things against my my relative.
Mm.
Close. My grandmother is a close relative to.
You can say bad things, especially when it comes to be, like advising them to change whatever. If somebody, if like for example, me, I'm your relative, and then mimi nenda vibaya, can't you talk to me?
Yes,
Can't you
at
advise
the
me?
right time.
So
First, you start by advising somebody in a closed door meeting, then in public.
okay, when
I,
you finish the closed door meeting, when you go to
then
public, you'll come
yes,
to share with us.
yes. Let me meet my brother-in-law in a closed door meeting.
So you had your own reservations.
I advise him the positive and the negative things that I feel he's doing. Let me have a closed meeting with my uncle, Raila. I mean Ruto. I will tell him what you have expressed and what other people are expressing in a closed-door meeting. I say Kenyans are crying this, you are doing this very well, you are doing this, go like this.
A
And
simple question before as we sum up: are you for or against Mandamano?
me, I told you that.
Okay, it is not a battle. The sufuria achana nayo.
Well, these people have their constitutional right. Who am I to say no or yes?
Thank you. I just wanted
We
to
put in a Kenya constitution, people have a right to picket and demonstrate.
So they have their right
So long as it is peaceful.
so long as it is peaceful.
Me, I have no problem. But you will not see me.
But as a Kenyan, you cannot say that you're sitting at the periphery.
I'm not sitting at the periphery.
You are.
I'm
it is
not.
Right now,
Yeah,
you're
that
playing.
you're
playing neutral.
I'm not playing neutral. You seem to have come with a perceived mind.
Because all these people are your relatives.
You seem to have come with a.
No, I just wanted to hear from you. Let me tell you.
You come with prepared questions without asking me to prepare for
I
others.
actually imagine I didn't prepare for this interview. But one thing is that for me, I'm like, okay, this is a seasoned politician. This person has been
how
there.
do you
You have served under the former president, the late Mwai Kibaki.
Yeah.
You have you are not able to serve, of course, under Uhuru, because at that time
did.
Uhuru was being elected.
Uhuru made me chairman ADC.
But you didn't serve under as an MP. That is what I'm saying.
No, not as an MP.
Yeah.
Two,
you were not able to serve. But one thing that I believe you are a seasoned politician, of which your advice counts.
You came prepared with questions without alerting me, and you insist that I answer those questions. Can you? Am I that naive that you can come all the way from where you came, Nairobi or where? You did not prepare questions.
I didn't prepare. I just came. NILISEMA.
Then let us walk around.
Actually, you have avoided most of my questions, but it is still fine. But like being a politician, because you expected that I'll come and we'll share a lot of stories about politics.
How?
I mean, I'm not a politician.
You didn't tell me you are coming to. Are we not doing his story?
I'm sorry if I asked you a question.
In fact, what you said, you said you wanted to know what I do after
politics.
Yeah, and I've shown you. Then sitting, you now want to drag me into other. Actually, your main objective is not to come and see what I do after.
Actually, I really wanted to.
But you came specifically to know what I think about politics without preparing me.
But it is just obvious. Like for me, from the word go, even if somebody like commissions Sasita Misiku, you can say, oh, this is what I think and this is my opinion. Everybody has his own her own reservations about everything that is happening in the country. As a seasoned politician, I mean, you cannot say that, oh, here mambo high cost of living, I don't have a comment on that. You cannot say.
Have I said that I don't have a comment?
Not really. You didn't say that you had.
No, you are trying to make judgmental observation.
I'm just giving an example. As a seasoned politician, you cannot say like, Mimi, I have no comment on that. Oh,
have I said like that?
No, I'm saying, I'm giving an example.
Please, I know what you are saying is what will carry the headline.
Sorry, that's okay. So
can we go and have lunch?
So that is Sylvester Bifwoli Wakoli.
Yeah.
Sylvester Bifwoli Wakoli, former MP Bumula sub-county. Of course, he ran for 2 terms, and he's been unsuccessful in 2022 polls. But of course, he's still hanging in there. He doesn't want to tell us really what his next plan is about. Of course, from what we've heard, is that he's going for presidency in 2027. So we are still hanging in there to see whatever his decision will be. But all the same, what are you doing? Because ametutembeza hapa on his farms, and tumeenda mahali panaitwa Engoho Cook Farm, whereby we have a lot of kukus. Yeah, alikama mluya jamani, tumeandaliwa kuku. So me, I want to finish all this so that niende nikae nikule Engoho. So until next time, guys, thank you so much.